Ladies and gentlemen, the Durham probe has essentially won a conviction of Michael Sussman with billing records. He billed Hillary for America for the time that he spent meeting with James Baker at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He did so to funnel false allegations into the United States government so taxpayer dollars would be utilized to investigate Trump and people around Trump. That's against the law, but that's 18 U.S. Code 371 and other statutes. You can't do that. He knew the allegations were false. See, but again, those are other statutes. The lie was very specific, and the Durham probe special counsel proved that. With the billing records, with the text message, and with James Baker's testimony. It's pretty clear cut. Now, in any time period or any moment in time, you would have a virtually certain clear-cut conviction. The jury, the court, we have no clue. We have no clue if one or two people who were partisan, who were Democrats, who despise Trump, and who just don't want to, adhere to the legal statutes or to the rules or to the protocol, and they put their political allegiances or ideology ahead of what actually took place. We have no clue. That could happen. If the evidence presented is the only thing that jury considers, then the Durham probe special counsel will have its first conviction. Now, if there's a hung jury, mistrial, and then a retrial, you're still looking eventually at a conviction. This is going to be very difficult for Sussman to get out of, because he obviously lied at that very moment. It really doesn't matter if there was an unspoken agreement where the lie was just a formality. The lie could have been a formality, because the one thing Sussman is telling, which is the truth, his defense team is telling the truth. James Baker knew that Sussman worked for the Clinton campaign and the Democratic Party. So the defense is actually telling the truth, and the truth leads to more indictments. So if there's a hung jury, because, and this is the key issue, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a hung jury next week and a mistrial and then a retrial, that would lead to more indictments, not less. People like Comey and Strzok and McCabe, and Kleinsmith and Lisa Page, all of these people, they would rather have a conviction of Sussman. A conviction of Sussman removes, or I should say, proves to the court in a way that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was duped and not a willing participant. That's the issue that I think the Durham probe special counsel is ultimately going to investigate or going to prosecute people on or indict people on. Okay, people conspired to deceive the country, to investigate Trump based on a Steele dossier, absurd bank allegations of a secret server. None of these things were true. You have to ask yourself, would Democrats opine or pontificate about things that aren't true, and they believe the biggest hoaxes, the most absurd conspiratorial nonsense? You have to ask yourself, well, do they ever look into the mirror? These people think that Trump was installed by the Kremlin because they were so mortified they lost to Trump in 2016, and they never accepted him as president. And they demand what they didn't give to Trump or to Republicans or Trump Republicans. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe to the Bitcoin Crash to 10,000 or lower channel. Market rally this week, it really means nothing. We're still in major bubble territory. Inflation, recession, high gas prices, oil prices, geopolitical nightmare, food shortages around the world. We're not even in the first inning of a terrible, terrible global economic catastrophe. And I have been saying this is going to happen since September of 2021. Read my Federalist article in October of 2021, but also watch the playlist, watch the segments below in the description section, And please subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below in the pinned comment and the Bitcoin Crash channel. I'll have segments on there right after this. I have a live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at around 9 p.m. or so. So a live stream tonight at around 8 to 9 p.m. Maybe a little earlier than 8 p.m. So we'll see. But be here for the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to support my channel, my channels, my patrons below, to my new patrons, thank you, and definitely become a member of this channel, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be very interesting what takes place. I think that I would like a resolution to this to find out what happened. A conviction would obviously be initially the best thing that could happen to the Durham Probe Special Counsel. But I don't I'm trying to tell my viewers, and I'm trying to tell the world, don't think that a hung jury is the end of the special counsel, or it's actually just the beginning. A hung jury would show that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was in on it. That's not what McCabe and Comey want. A hung jury points to leadership and the top brass and the decision makers at the FBI. A conviction of SUSSMAN shields Comey and McCabe and Strzok. Okay, these people were, the officials at the Bureau were political partisans. That should not happen. You shouldn't have government officials trying to tip the scales or trying to side with one political party and investigate the other political party. The notion, and here's the big issue that not a lot of people are talking about, the notion that it was national security to whether the DNC emails being hacked by another country was national security, or Clinton's emails, her deleted emails, that's not national security. It has nothing to do with protecting the country or our interests at home or on the world stage. Literally, it has everything to do with marketing Democratic Party corruption, the knowledge of, as some kind of national security issue, okay? It would be the equivalent of the RNC trying to cheat Donald Trump and Republicans saying, oh my goodness, can you believe what another country, China, wants us to know about our corruption? They published these emails showing that we tried to undermine Trump during the primary, the Republican primary. Oh no, the whole world knows what's happening in the Republican primary. Well, that's what happened with the DNC emails. It's not national security, okay? And if they cared so much about voters going from Clinton to Trump because of Bernie Sanders being cheated within the Democratic primary, maybe they should have a functioning primary. They did the same thing 4 years later in Iowa to Bernie Sanders, okay? These people give these sermons and preach and pontificate about democracy. They can't even have a functioning primary. Okay, this is Tammany Hall. Like, the Democratic Party from Tammany Hall to today has been a very corrupt political party. Okay, party bosses, honest graft. We're seeing it with Hunter and his emails. These are the people who, preach and pontificate about morality. Okay, because most have done away with religion or the concept of God, and so their God, their religion is MSNBC, CNN, politics. They truly believe that all you have to do is watch how Democrats react to tragedy. The maniacs and the monsters who commit unspeakable evil, they're not actually condemned by Democrats. It's actually the Republican politicians who face the most vitriol for what true monsters and diabolical maniacs commit. Who, in the afterlife will certainly be dealt with. But you have to ask yourself, well, this dogma that this religious passion that Democrats have for politics, what good has it done them or the country? It's plunged the country into this bizarre national security public relations situation where the average person on the left that votes Democrat thinks that the DNC emails are part of national security, and they're not. Give me your they're an example of Bernie Sanders, their own candidate, being cheated. Give me your thoughts below. Again, this is about one specific lie, and if it's just about that one specific lie, it's a conviction. But if it's a hung jury, it actually proves even further that the top leadership was in on it against Trump at the Bureau. Hit subscribe. Be here tonight for the live stream. And go right now to the stock market crash channel and the Bitcoin crash